All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. There's I don't know who said this, but I think somebody said at one time, you could have been anywhere you wanted to be in the world, but you're here with us. And because of that, I thank you. I think it was Jay-Z actually that said that. So we'll get started here in a sec. Let me see. And yeah, let's get started. So, my name is Jim Ducer. I'm the assistant dean for the Ardress College of Business and Economics. Thank you for joining us. So today we're going to learn a little bit about the Ardress College, um, about us, the career team. We're going to learn a little bit about have some questions about academic advising, which I know you probably have a million questions about that. We're going to meet with some students. We're going to expose you to some resources as well. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Perfect. Does that look good, everybody? Good? Perfect. Thank you, Kensington and Jenna. Um, so let's go here. Perfect. So welcome all. Here's kind of the agenda. There's good old Pete Panther there on the right, right by one of the main gates we walk in. So the agenda, we're going to talk about our career advancement team. It's the team that I have the pleasure of leading. We're going to talk a little bit about academic advising as well. We're talking about ACBE. If this will be the first probably of many times you're going to hear ACBE, which just stands for the Argyros College of Business and Economic Resources. We'll have a great student panel with some amazing students that are actually joining us here. Then we'll open it up for Q&A. So here, you know what? I am like one of the luckiest guys in the world to be able to work with these wonderful people and these smiling faces. Starting on the left, that's me. I'm Jim Ducer, and it says all students. Like here, you'll hear some stuff mentioned about, personalized education. And education isn't just something that looks cute on marketing material. It's real, it's legit, it's what we do here. And it's so personalized that we have within our career advancement team, we have specialists for each area of students. My focus on paper, my main focus is our full-time MBA students, but I meet with students all the time, every day. Chloe Jew, she is our specialist with our marketing students. Max Priestley specializes in supporting our real estate students, some of our flexible MBA students, and our veterans. And then Christine, she supports our econ students, management students, international business, and entrepreneurship. And then our newest team member, super happy to have Connie Consuelo Almanza, who supports our finance students, our accounting, and data analytics as well. Max, you're here, right, Max?
I am. Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much for having me. I'll only be here for the first maybe 15 minutes or
Perfect.
so.
Okay.
But I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to speak to everyone who is here and listening in. But yeah, no, I'm grateful to work under Jim. And what's funny is that I've actually gone through the MBA program where
Hmm.
Jim was working here at Chapman
Hmm.
in the career program. And I can't tell you how great it is to have seen him in a capacity where he's helping students as a student and now getting to work with him and for him as our assistant dean. So super grateful for that. But yeah, I'm just excited for everyone here to learn more. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. And but I'm sure Jim has a full
Yeah.
cavalcade of things to go over today.
Yes.
So.
Thank you for those nice words, Max. And I hope he's saying that just out of, he's a very honest person, but I did give him a box of his favorite protein bars earlier in the week. So that might have been, that have been it.
That was it.
Chloe,
That's what did it. Yep.
Chloe, are you here, Chloe?
Yes, I'm here.
You're here. Yes,
Mhm.
this is Chloe. Chloe supports our marketing students. Anything you want to say or add to the people watching?
I would like to say welcome. Yes. And if you are seeking for a your career directions in marketing, my office is here on the third floor, and yeah, my door is always open. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Chloe. And then Christine is out today, but Connie, did you want to say just a couple words?
Hi everyone. I hope that you all enjoy this presentation. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask and welcome everybody to Chapman.
Perfect. Thank you, Connie. Here. Oh, sorry, I gotta go up one. So there's just some of the services that we provide here to support students. Our main office is located in BK, Beckman Hall, room 305. We have a dedicated career team of career coaches, like we just introduced, that will have a specialization to basically help and support you with your area of study. We can help you with your personal branding. We do many workshops and events. I'll kind of get into some of those events a little bit later here. We can review your resumes, your LinkedIn profiles, interview prep, job search, networking, whatever you need. We're here to help you actually to go above and beyond. So you see these people are crossing their fingers, and most, career services department or universities, the strategy is not much of a strategy. It's just cross your fingers and hope that students show up. And now we have this new structure in place. We have the team that is there to specifically support specific students. And we have more kind of a targeted and structured overall program in place. So we've introduced this new, it's called our 5-phase system. With the first system, with its first impressions, exploration, curious conversations, differentiation, and we'll say close the loop. Most universities will stop at that first one, which is the first impressions, which what I include in that is your resume and your LinkedIn. I went to a large university for undergraduate. I'm not going to say which university it is, but I'll just say it rhymes with Cal State Fullerton. And it was a very large university, which had, 40,000 students, 10,000, 11,000 within the business school. We have 10,000 students total and about 2,400 students in the business school. And most will stop there with your resume and your LinkedIn. I think that most big schools have kind of failed students where they teach students mainly how to apply for jobs, not really get jobs. So it's very important that we coach you in many different ways. So the first one is at first impressions, which is resume and LinkedIn. Second would be that kind of the exploration phase. We know, that right now, if you're on this call, you're probably 17, 18 years old, and some of you might know exactly what you want to do, which is great. If those of you who don't, that's fine. I mean, a lot of us are still trying to figure out. I mean, I'm at my heart, I still think I'm, a 13-year-old, and I just want to play wiffle ball and and watch movies with my friends, during the summer and swim in the pool. But there's an exploration phase. How can we help you? How can we support you and kind of give you some options for, some potential career paths, just some general direction. Then once you get past that phase, we have the curious conversations where we teach you how to network, how to reach out to people, even down to the scripts. We teach you, here's some targeted people you should reach out to. Mainly, for a couple things, to see we want you to build that network, one, and two, to see if these actually be, roles that you would be interested in doing. After all, and overall, this is just the 1.0 version of yourself that you're going into in college. You're probably going to change some things many times along the way, which is fine. And then to me, then the biggest things is a differentiation. The differentiation is, and we'll get into that into the next slide, is essentially how do you differentiate? How do you stand out when you're trying to find a job, when you're looking for jobs? The days are over of you graduate college and then it automatically here's a job. I think the days are over of even right now of just applying to jobs. If you're just cold applying to jobs, it's very, very, very difficult and challenging. And we want to help you get the job, not just apply for jobs. And then the last phase is the close the loop. How do you wrap it up? So why do we have a system? On average, there's probably about 250 plus people applying to a job. We had a great conversation with a leader, one of the biggest leaders of an Orange County, largest Orange County companies, their chief human resources officer a couple weeks ago, and he was telling us that they have 700 people applying for a job. I mean, you need to stand out for that. So what we want to do is we want to coach you, we want to train you, and we want to support you with these, I call them the top 1% job seeking behaviors. How to utilize your network for referrals. Referrals are so important in everything. And you have at your disposal here the Chapman Network. our team and to teach you how to get those referrals. Utilize some great AI tools. It's a challenging job market, but I personally believe that there's never been a better time to utilize tools and resources to your advantage in the job search process right now. Put together like a little video resume. I was on a podcast the other day with a gentleman who was runs a global talent organization, and he was saying word for word, he says, I've been getting video resumes in my inbox. He says, and that is top 1% behavior. How to put together a really strong professional portfolio, and this is not just for creatives. And then once you start getting into the interview process, how to put together first 90-day plans. I shared this with a recruiter from another company the other day, and he said they wanted me to stop when I said that. He says, if I got something like that, it's over. That person gets the job. So we want to make sure that you're the strongest candidate out there. We don't want you to get rejected for jobs, but if you do, if you follow this, we want them to feel terrible about not moving forward with you. And with that, now I'm gonna kind of hand it over to Emma Floyd. She's one of our amazing academic advisors. At the end of this, by the way, at the end, we'll have time for questions for anybody on the team, for Emma, for our amazing students who are gonna be on the panel here in a little bit. And when Emma has her questions, we're gonna have it's like, I don't know if you watched Jeopardy. In Jeopardy, all the questions are in question format. With Emma, when she gets her questions, start with what about or what if, because that's most of the questions are going to be academic related. Like, what about my AP classes, and what if I take this? And so just amuse me, and we'll do that. So with that, Emma, are you available?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, Jim.
Perfect. You're welcome. And just tell me when you want me to change slides.
Okay, awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Emma Floyd. My information is on that slide. So when you are fully admitted to Chapman and you've deposited and all that kind of stuff, you'll kind of come into my advising system, and I'm here to help you with classes. So jobs are amazing, but you have to finish school first. So that's what I'm here for, to hopefully get you out in 4 years. And I work with Ivy Magruder, and her information is on the screen as well. We are both Chapman University alumni. We both got our business degrees from Chapman, and I am actually a double alumni. I got my MBA, my master's in business administration here. I was actually in a couple classes with Max, so we went through that together. So we're both very, very proud Panther alumni. So we're happy to help you with not just your academics, but if you have just questions about Chapman University in general. So yeah, Jim, if you want to switch the slides. All right, so I'm really just going to go with some bird's eye view information about our programs, because I know a lot of you are still kind of figuring some things out. But if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to your admissions advisor. And then once you're deposited, you can reach out to me and Ivy as well. So right now we have our 3 main majors, and those are business administration, accounting, and economics. All right, and those ones, the accounting and business administration, are both our bachelors of sciences, and economics is a bachelor of arts. So both of those options are great. The Bachelor of Arts just means you're taking more classes outside of your major discipline. We also have some of our minors listed below. So we have minors in business administration, economics, and entrepreneurship. We also have some other minors, including things like analytics and humanomics, which is really interesting. It's a little bit newer. It's kind of the intersection of psychology and econ. So we can talk you through all of these different programs. We also help prepare students not just to finish all their classes, but we'll help you with things like if you're considering studying abroad, if you're considering trying to graduate early or do an integrated master's. That's kind of what we're here for, is to do kind of that long-term planning and to make sure that you're all set for graduation. Accounting majors, most of them go for the whole California public accountancy route. So they want to be some kind of an accountant. Business administration is super broad. You kind of heard from the different categories our career advisors had. You can go into anything from marketing and management to entrepreneurship, finance, analytics. There's a lot that you can do with that. Economics also is very policy driven and understanding the forces behind the economy. So a lot you can do with that as well. Super, super broad. So business, accounting, and econ are definitely really good majors if you want to go into a lot of different things, or if you're not really sure where to start. Okay, so then the other thing I kind of wanted to talk you through is what college classes actually look like. And obviously, once you're admitted, you'll get into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty. But you can think of it that along with general education courses, which are a little bit like they would have been in high school, where you're all going to take a science class, you're all going to take a math class, you're all going to take an English class, you're going to be taking your major classes. So usually 2 to 3 a semester. And you're going to start with those foundational courses. So no matter what your specialization is, no matter whether it's marketing or finance or management, everyone is going to take the same foundation so we can all speak the language of business. So you're going to be taking things like econ, accounting, calculus, statistics, analytics, law, ethics, and communication. And those are like 100, 200 level classes. So those are for our freshmen and sophomores. And then you're going to get into that business core. And this is where you're really going to start exploring what it is specifically that you want to do, because we want everyone to be able to understand every discipline within business fairly well, and then you can go in and specialize. So everyone, no matter what you're specializing in, will take finance, marketing, management, operations, and information systems. So these are the ones that you would take usually as a junior. So you're getting into those upper division classes and really starting to explore. Those classes are a lot more project based than our foundation courses. You're working with more people. And then finally, you optionally can have an emphasis. So that would be specializing in a certain discipline. So like we've been talking about with the different career advisors, you can see the list of all the different ones on the slide, international business, entrepreneurship, real estate. But I also do want to point out that that's not required. If you're someone who you don't really know what you want to do yet, or maybe you're interested in a lot of different things, you can choose different types of classes to really pursue whatever interests you. So I myself was a marketing emphasis when I did my undergrad, and I did international business as my specialization for my master's. But these are all really good programs, and that's kind of a good one-on-one discussion to have with your advisor to see what would be the best pick, and also to talk to your career advisor and say, hey, this is the kind of position I'm interested in. What kinds of degrees are valuable in that field? So kind of a team effort. You should be working with your academic and career advisors all kind of rolled into one. Can't really have one without the other. And then our very last thing that you would take in your senior spring is our capstone international strategy course. So whereas from kind of the beginning, all of your classes are kind of isolated in terms of what subject you're learning about, the capstone is really what brings it all together. So you're kind of blending all those fields together into usually a big semester long project, or maybe like different kinds of exams. So it's kind of a way to bring everything together. But the thing I really want to emphasize with all of this is the flexibility. So you're usually only going to be taking about 2 to 3 major classes a semester, which gives you plenty of room to study abroad, or if you want to explore a minor or potentially even a double major, lots of different things that you can do. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions about classes. And you'll get some more information when you get closer to the semester starting.
Perfect. Emma, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And by the way, when Emma said something about, you talk to your academic advisors or your career advisors, we're all in the same office. So we all kind of like, all of our teams are very, very kind of just integrated. So now let's talk about some of the resources that we have available here with not only through Chapman, but through ACBE, the Argyles College of Business and Economics. The Panther Network is a specific Panther or Chapman networking tool where you can network just with Chapman Panther alums. Career Shift is such a great resource. Once again, that kind of dovetails with the Panther Network, where you can look up, you have access to find where are some of our alums, in what industries they're in. Think about LinkedIn, but with better contact information. These are people who opted in, so you can get their email address. You can kind of reach out to these people that way. Handshake is like, just the most commonly accepted platform for students to find jobs, but I would not use that as the only place to find jobs. And I would absolutely take advantage of your network. Come to us, see who we know and how we can kind of help you out. Interesting story. Yesterday, or 2 weeks ago, I had somebody who reached out to me, very specific, kind of niche student they were looking for. A student who was fluent in Mandarin and wanted to work startups, and reached out to a couple people, a couple professors, and some students I knew. It wasn't the right fit. Student came in, had an appointment with me, and senior, we started talking, came up that she studied in Taiwan and she knows Mandarin. She's a finance major, or she was finance emphasis. She liked it, but it was the right fit for her. And I told her about this opportunity, and in real time, while we're there in the meeting, I'm connecting with the person on LinkedIn, say, hey, are you still open? This role still open? By the end of the meeting, 30 minutes, she had an interview, which was great. And then so working the rest of this page here, Wall Street Journal students, you get a free subscription to the Wall Street Journal. We have a lot of great networking events. This is networking events and professional development workshops. We'll get into some of the bigger ones here shortly. VMOC is a great resource, great like resume creation resource. Do a little bit of kind of ATS of applicant tracking system of testing your checking your resume, make sure it checks all the boxes and you're a good applicant on paper. The business of series, we've done a lot of business of series where you take a specific industry. We did one business of automotive, business of surfing. And when the demand is there for a certain business of series, we can have that where we have experts and panelists that come in from these industries and have a really great engaging panel conversation. And then they stick around to meet with students. And then Udemy, I cannot recommend and stress the importance of Udemy enough. That's a great resource for upskilling. Once again, free for Chapman students. There's over 5,000 classes on there. So let's say you're applying for a job and it ends up that, they really need you to have some experience in advanced financial modeling or Excel. You can literally go on Udemy and you can take those classes for free. Just get the certificates. I should say classes. You take the programming with a certificate at the end, so you can make sure that you have any necessary skills needed. And here's some great business clubs and organizations. We'll talk about those in a little bit, but the Accounting Society, if you're an accounting student or accounting major and you're interested in that, that is such a great group that it's kind of, I say, kind of like the gold standard for our clubs and organizations, student run. They run so many great events. We're having some mock interviews with some firms later this month. We have their big banquet coming up. That's such a great organization. Alpha Kappa Psi, which is a business fraternity. It's a great group. They have a consulting group. Probably the fastest rising group or the most popular is actually the Chapman Real Estate Association. It's known as CREA. We left out the Chapman there. Matthew Salerno will be on to join us here in a little bit. That's a great group. The CUIG, the Chapman University Investment Group, is a good group for students interested in finance. Data Analytics Association is pretty much self-explanatory. Delta Sigma Pi, another business fraternity. Marketing Association or the American Marketing Association is a really, really, really growing group here within the business school. And we have the Entrepreneurship Organization as well. We have one that's not specifically tied to or housed in the business college is the Sales Club, which is getting very, very popular as well. For those of you who are thinking, more entrepreneurial in nature, we have the Leatherby Center for Entrepreneurship and Business Ethics. It's down the street from the main campus, but they run some incredible programming and events. Just this past week, we had the Panther Cage Match, which is a Shark Tank style competition for students where you have judges. There was cash prizes for that. It's run by Cynthia West, who's absolutely amazing. For any of you out there who are going to be here maybe for preview day on April 11th, then Cynthia will be having a presentation. I'll be having some presentations and stuff too. But the Entrepreneurship Center is a great place. Actually, I have a little thing on my desk here, a flyer on Friday, April 10th from 1 to 5, the real show Shark Tank is doing a casting call here at Chapman and the Arduous College of Business and Economics at the Leatherby Center for Entrepreneurship and Ethics. For those of you interested in finance, it's called the Janes Financial Center. In the Janes Financial Center, we have 12 Bloomberg terminals. As of a couple years ago, the entire UC system only had 7. We have these Bloomberg terminals, which are really important to be able to get trained on, certified. You get your BMC, your Bloomberg Market Concept certification on that. And it'll provide you with the necessary skills to go to the next level. We have our Janes Residency Program, which is a student-run program, very competitive to get into. But however, you can get into it in your first year. If you're good and you want to do it in your first year, you 100% can do it. And they kind of prefer some younger students because you can kind of grow with the program. The Janes family gave a very generous donation about 10 to 12 years ago of $1 million for the Janes Financial Center. 350,000 went for the build out of it. The remaining $650,000 was put in a student-run fund, and it says right there it's 4.6. It's actually over $5 million now, and the students run that fund. You don't get to keep the money, but you run the fund. You keep the balance keeps going higher and higher and higher. When I say we, mean Chapman. We do compete with other institutions on the West Coast, and we usually win those contests. And the people behind that, you can see on the right, it's Fidel Lawandes, the director. Fidel, at age 37, late 30s, he retired. He had a hedge fund. He sold it, and still has a lot of gas in the tank. And he's been here for, I think, 15 years or so. And then Richard Ramirez, who's the associate director down in there. They're there all the time. It's such a great group of students. And then here's some of our larger events that we have. So with the main campus, we have, I'm talking about when I say ACBE, Arduous College, within our college, we have these specific events for our business students. There's main campus career fair. There's a career fair for the entire university. But then we have 4 kind of pillar events each year, specifically for our business students. We have a Meet the Agencies Marketing and Sales. So students who are interested in marketing and sales, we have some incredible employers that show up for that. And when I say show up, it's probably about 15 to 20 employers, and they're in a room, super, I don't want to say intimate, but it's personalized. I think it's much better than a regular kind of career fair. Then we also have the Meet the Firm's real estate. So students wanting to get into real estate. And when I say real estate, this is mainly on the commercial side, not so much residential, but predominantly on the commercial side of real estate. And Chapman is I think the center of real estate in Orange County now because of how well Korea is doing, the Real Estate Association, and our Masters of Science in Real Estate program. And I say the key is going to be networking, networking, networking. So maybe the parents out there need to close their ears for this, but when you go to college, or your students go to college, you're going to have some nights, some events on the weekends where you might go out with your friends and you're going to have a good time and all of that kind of stuff. What you're doing is you're really networking. You're meeting people that can be very influential in your future. So you go to main reason you go to college because you want to get the skills that are going to help you in the future. 1, 2, to start something or finish something that you started that wasn't easy, and 3 is to network. So when it comes Sunday night rolls around and you had a lot of fun over the weekend and you're hanging out with your friends and your parents ask you, what did you do over the weekend? Children just say, I did nothing but network this weekend. So that's networking, and your networking actually can start literally right now with these 4 amazing students. Actually, there's only 3. This is my fault. Lara had a conflict with her class. So we do have Matt Salerno, Kensington Nelson, and Jenna Dartley. Can you guys turn your mics on and just say hi real quick?
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hi. So, oh, look at that. I didn't realize you're both together. And then Matt, are you here?
I am
Matthew?
here. Hi, everyone.
Oh, good. Why don't you do quick, brief intros? We'll start with Matthew. I know it says it up here. It's you're a econ major, senior. Real quick intro.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Matthew Salerno. I am a senior econ major from Newport Beach. My brother was also a Panther. He graduated about 2 years ago, and I had a great past 4 years. Happy to answer any questions and to share some of the amazing opportunities Chapman has to offer.
Perfect. Thank you. And let's go with Jenna and Kensington.
Hi everyone. I'm Jenna Dartley. I'm a junior here at Chapman. I'm a business administration finance emphasis major. I love going to school here. I love everyone that I get to meet and see every single day. So if you have any questions about the school and anything about it, I love to talk your ears off.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kensington Nelson. I am a senior business finance major with an economics minor. I also love Chapman. I've really gotten to know a lot of the career specialists and career coaches, and I love all of them. I love the students here. I love the resources. It's really an amazing place, and we're very excited to get to know you all.
There's a lot of love going around here. So actually, let me take this off of the stop share because we don't want to talk. We don't want to just keep. I mean, you can look at that, but we'll look at you when we ask the question. So I'm going to start off. How about we start off with Kensington? Kensington and then Jenna. Kensington, what advice would you give to the younger version of yourself or the students who are on this session? What just kind of general advice, or you wish that you knew as they were trying to make these decisions moving forward?
I think really just like getting to really networking is a huge one. I wish
Yeah.
that I had started to network earlier
Mhm.
in my time at Chapman, and getting involved as early as possible. We've got career fairs, we've got club fairs, like all of those places, like go to them, meet people, just put yourself out there. I know it's scary, especially coming
Mhm.
into your first year of college, but like just, step out of your comfort zone. That's really when the most growth happens. And I would just recommend like really trying to meet as many people as you can and try and like, enjoy every moment, live like every single day to the fullest. Like the time at Chapman goes really quickly, and it's an awesome school.
Perfect. Thank you. Jenna?
Yeah, I completely agree with Kenzie. I think it's so important, or Kensington. I think it's so important to put yourself out there and say yes to everything. It can be a little daunting, it can be ominous. College is a big deal, and it's important to recognize that. But with that, it's important to realize that you don't have a lot of time, and it's important to do everything and meet new people. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. Chapman is such a great community. Everyone that comes here, all the faculty, the students, everyone in the area is so kind and so fun to be around. Everyone that I've met here is an amazing person. I've always gained such valuable insight from everyone that goes to this school and had such a great time. So yeah, I think that's super important.
Perfect. Thank you. And you know what? It's kind of like, what Jenna just said there in Kensington. There's a lot of love on this kind of on this call, which is great. And when students come by and they have a tour or I'm walking them around, I'll usually start off by saying, I'm going to run into minimum 5, maximum 20 people. These are not actors. These are not plants. These are real people with real relationships. And when I think about, Chapman, I'm going to get to you, Matthew, in a second. I didn't forget about you. When people will ask me why Chapman, what's special about Chapman, at least the business school. I'll say it comes down to three things. One, it's a world-class business school and it's only getting better. Two, it's like a legitimate family environment, family feel around here. And three, you feel like you're someplace, like you're in a community with the orange, with the surrounding areas and the campus and all that kind of good stuff. So, Matthew, are you there?
I am here.
What do you wish you knew? What do you wish the younger version of you knew before you got into Chapman?
Man, that's tough. I'd say one thing I wish I could go back and tell my freshman self is what you get in is what you get out.
Yeah.
And at Chapman, they set you up so well with the baseline of one, the class sizes are phenomenal, the professors are phenomenal, the community here is so tight. Chapman alumni especially really want to help the students that are in college now, break into the workforce. As we are a university in Southern California, there's tons of other big names around here. They want to support just those Chapman students. I'd say just getting out there and going on coffee chats, exploring career opportunities. For me, I was between real estate and finance. I was super nervous about, what my life was going to look like outside of college, if I'd even get a job after watching my brother go through that whole experience. And I just said, I'm just going to rely on the Chapman family. I'm going to use these resources. I'm going to, touch up my resume. I'm going to go to Jim's office and he's going to give me advice for this interview. And you're just not getting that personal touch anywhere else. I mean, I say hi to probably 30 people before going to class. I don't know if I've ever been on time since my sophomore year, just because I know so many people at this school that just have so much love and willingness to help. So that's what makes me proud to be a Panther.
Perfect. I love that so much. And I know you have a lot of choices, everybody here to where to go to school, and there's going to be some big names out there. And I would say I would call them some schools are more famous than Chapman, but I don't, it's very hard for me to believe that you can get a better experience. And just from my vantage point, because in my role, I've worn many hats here as a faculty member. as on the administrative or leadership side. On the staff, I mean, I've seen kind of, and I get to see the full cycle of students from the time they come in as, a first year student, even all the way into graduate school. And there might be some bigger names out there, but I don't think there's a better place to kind of have the full experience. I'm going to stick with you, Matthew, just really quick. 'Cause you said you were a little nervous coming in. Can you talk a little bit about kind of, some of the nervousness and the jitters because, when you first start off, you're 18 years old, still wet behind the ears, a little bit of imposter syndrome. Did that happen with you at all?
Oh my gosh. I wish you could have saw me on the morning when I was moving into the dorms. I was just like literally shaking. It was 100 degrees, so I was sweating already, and that just added on to the fun. But I was so nervous, especially walking around and seeing all the seniors on campus. I
Yeah.
mean, they just felt so much older, and,
These are
and you're,
adults.
yeah,
Yeah.
these are full grown adults. And oh man, I was fortunate enough, to have an older brother. And so
Yeah.
he always told me just like get out there and meet people. Don't wear your AirPods on campus.
Mhm.
When you sit down in class, make sure to shake the hand of the person next to you because you have no idea, where
Mhm.
that relationship might take you. I happened to sit next to one of my best friends these past 4 years on my first day of school. And if it wasn't for that and, me kind of being like, okay, like I need to make this extra effort and it's a conscious effort
Yeah.
that you're going to have to make. And if you do, I mean, it just pays off so well. I mean, we've collaborated over summer, just having similar internships in the real estate industry, and our families have met now. And it's the
Mhm.
really importance of just getting to know the community and not being scared because, like I said, it's not like high school where there's like, you might think there's like social cliques and groups and this and that. College is it's a whole different ball game. There's so much more support. There's so much more maturity, and that stuff just goes right out the window. And you have a chance to really invent yourself. Do something great in these 4 years.
I love that. Thank you so much. Jenna and Kensington, could you kind of walk us through what it was like when you first when you first got here and then reflecting back?
Yeah, I can completely agree with Matt. I was a nervous wreck. I like wanted to do everything right and, like have everything go just the way I planned it in my head. And I wanted
Hmm.
to meet, all these people, but I was also so nervous.
Hmm.
And really, like, yes, you have to put yourself out there. Like Matt was saying, like, it's a conscious thing. You kind of have to be in the mindset for it. But Chapman is such an easy place, like, to meet people.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not you want to, like, there will be people that come up to you and want to say hi to you and want to talk. And it just comes so naturally, just like the community is so easy to talk to and relate to, which I think is super important, especially when you're going somewhere new. So, yeah, that's kind of how I saw the situation my freshman year. But I was nervous, but it was so easy to kind of get in there. Like I was nervous for maybe 2 seconds, and I was like, oh yeah, this place is awesome. Like I'm having so much fun already. So yeah.
I love it. Kenzie? I never called you Ken.
I also was terrified my like first day of freshman year. I had always gone to a small school growing up. I went to boarding school, so it was like every single like part of my day was structured and planned. And so coming into college was very different for me, like having so much free time. And I think that can be either a good thing or a bad thing for a lot of students. The good thing is that like all of your teachers are so invested in your success and they will reach out to you and like they'll make sure that like you're attending class, and it's different here than going to like a big school with like you have 300-person lectures. It's like your teachers will know your names. They know when you're not in class. They know who you are. They know how you're doing. They really care, and they really care that you succeed. And I think that is something that really has stuck out to me these last 4 years, is that as I get to know my professors and my teachers, like it's really something special that Chapman has to offer. And I think it's really helped me grow into like the person that I am today. And I'm a much more confident version of myself than I was my freshman year. And Chapman really helped bring that side out of me.
Yeah, and it's that's a good point. And employers love Chapman students, and the reason they love Chapman students is that you've got that perfect blend of the hard skills and the soft skills, or somebody just recently said they're not soft skills, they're foundational skills. What you have that perfect blend of both of those, and you don't really get out of Chapman without having some really close relationships, really getting to know people, getting to know your instructors, getting to know staff members like myself, administrative team. Yeah, I think it's very special. This is kind of a little off script question here, but we'll start with Jenna and Kensington. What was the biggest surprise that you had, after you came to Chapman?
Ooh. Um, well, a little backstory.
Yeah.
I went to an all-girls high school. My graduating class was literally 65 girls.
Whoa.
And I thought that I was going to be like so shy and I'd have to stick with like a
Hmm.
small group. And I think the biggest shock to me was like the fact that I pretty much know, at least it feels like I know like my whole school. Like I don't ever go anywhere on campus without talking to at least 10 people. And it's
Yeah.
so amazing and it's so nice. It's just, it makes it feel like such a home, because you're not really home at school, but it really does. And I think that was something that I was like not really expecting to have. Like I thought I was going to be kind of in my close thing, like what I was used to from school, but like you just get to know so many people through your classes and things that you get involved with. And I think that was something that I'm really happy today that I've kind of created this huge community of people that I now know so well. And it's such a blessing. And I am so grateful that I have the people at Chapman. So I think that's definitely a big surprise that I loved.
Perfect. And Kenzie?
I think that something that really surprised me was I think just like how the like curriculum is structured like really helped me personally because I came in as a business major. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I came in because my dad told me that I should be a business major. So I think like in taking the core business classes, like getting to know like all of the fields and just getting like a little foot in the door for like each one of those and learning the basics of it was something that like kind of surprised me. And then I didn't ever think that I would be finance and econ, but here we are. And I really enjoyed my intro to econ classes my freshman year. And then it led me here and getting involved with the Chapman University Investment Group and networking within like the Jane Center and learning Bloomberg terminals and all of that. So that was definitely my biggest surprise.
Thank you. And Matt, what was your biggest surprise?
For me, it's probably got to be the level of faculty support. I took on a huge, big role of running the real estate club, and it was a lot for me to chew on at that time of my life. And oh my gosh, I just pretty much met everybody in the business school, like Rita and Alton and whatnot, and they have just been so supportive with the student organization that I run that eventually led me into the job I'm going to work post grad with two Chapman alumni, and they found me because of this whole situation, and I wouldn't have found them if I didn't have the in-house support to essentially pursue this vision that I had of one, educating myself and other students about real estate, and just instant like, oh, we have, we can fund this and we have this idea and we can pull together to meet the firm's event, bring in this alumni. I mean, I never felt like I had such a great team behind me, from just an idea, and I just couldn't be more thankful. I don't think we would have been able to grow as fast or as well
Mhm.
as we did if it wasn't for the foundational structure we have here at Chapman.
That now the real estate, the CREA, Chapman Real Estate Association, is the largest club on campus. And when it started, when you took over, there was like nothing. Huh.
Yeah, we were having like 8-member meetings. There was about 80 people, and I think
Yeah.
we just broke 270
Wow.
last week. So it's just been a huge blessing to watch that take off.
And for you students out there, I mean, if you want to start a club, you can go for it. Okay, so last question from me for the students on the panel here before we kind of turn it over. Um, I'll start with you, Matt. Favorite restaurant or place to eat in the Circle? And by the way, it is the Circle. If people try to call it the Orange Plaza or anything like that, you might get kicked out of school on the first time. We'll give you grace the first time you say it. The second time, it's pack your bags. So, what's your favorite place to eat in the Circle?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to divvy it up into two. But for breakfast, I'm going La Orange Cafe. I
Oh
think they have
yeah,
the best chocolate almond croissant I've ever had in my entire life.
it's pretty good.
If you see me on Wednesday mornings, I'm usually snacking on that. For dinner, I'm going smoked. I don't think there's a lot of good barbecue in California, but I think their burnt ends appetizer. Me and my friends will go grab them and watch the game when we have time. And if you have the opportunity to try it out, I think it's a great spot.
That's perfect. And Jenna Kensington.
I would say my favorite dinner spot in the Circle is either Wasabi, which is a sushi
That's
sushi
good.
place. It's delicious, or Finney's, to watch like any sports game is so much fun. The environment is crazy. And the best coffee, in my opinion, in the circle is Play Coffee.
That's the right answer. I get my matcha from Play.
It's so
And
good.
Yes.
that crispy tuna rice thing.
Spicy tuna crispy rice. So good.
Absolutely
Yeah.
incredible.
Oh my gosh. When I get that, I don't want to share it. I get really selfish. Okay, and Jenna, what about your favorites?
I'm more of a brunch matcha person, so my absolute favorite places to go for matcha is a new place actually called Cafe Inn. They do really fun ones. They have like a banana one and a strawberry one. Like they're so good. And I also love Euro Cafe. I love crepes. That's like my favorite breakfast food, and they have amazing crepes and also like other good pastries. And then yes, I agree with wasabi for sushi. It's
Yeah,
so good. But yeah,
pretty
everywhere in
good.
the circle is so good. Like that was hard to pick. Even those three, I could keep talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Well, thank you. And when you start talking about like the community, it's kind of special when you can just walk down to the circle and you run into everybody in this little area. And yeah, Old Town Orange, the circle, not the plaza, is a special place. And a lot of it's thanks to Chapman University as well. So with that, Christian, I'm going to defer to you. Do we have the ability to ask questions, answer questions? I forget.
Yeah, I think if folks have any questions, thank you for that, Jim. If
Yeah.
folks have any questions that you want to ask folks, either our students, our staff, our faculty here, if you wanted to ask them using the chat feature, you can do that. So if there are questions that folk have, start typing some of those up and use that there in some of the chat, the Q&A feature. There it is. I'm starting to see some of the questions come on in the
Oh, perfect.
here. Yeah, so if we see here on the question and answer section.
Yeah, I can't see them on my, oh, can I see them on my, or do you have to navigate, or hold on. Oh, do I see questions? Oh, I do see questions. Okay, good. Megan asked, can you provide some insight on the business interterm opportunities? Have any of the students study abroad? We do have the interterm session or semester, I guess you could say, is the month of January, which is January through February. And there's a lot of classes that we have here. With any of the majors in ACBE, and Emma could probably add to this, is that there is an international component, either international related classes, or you can do a travel course or even a semester abroad. Emma, do you want to add anything to that? And then the students could probably add to it as well.
So one of the reasons I chose Chapman when I was choosing it was because study abroad was really important to me. And when you say study abroad with a college experience, people think of a full semester abroad, but for some students that's not realistic depending on different factors. So just know that study abroad is definitely feasible, whether it's doing an interterm study abroad, a summer study abroad, doing a summer internship abroad. There's so much you can do. And with our interterm classes, they can be a little bit challenging to find for our freshmen and sophomores, but if you're getting into junior, senior year, it's really amazing to kind of finish up those requirements. And I mean, if you did an interterm every single year, that's 4 classes. That's almost an entire semester's worth of classes. So it's a good way to kind of get ahead if you need some extra flexibility or if you're trying to graduate early or anything like that.
Perfect. Thank you. The next question probably for Emma as well. How often do students meet with their academic advisors?
Yeah. So the only time you are required to meet with me is right before you start your freshman year. So when we're talking about getting you into classes and getting you all set up, after that, it's completely up to you. So I usually recommend you meet with me a minimum of once a year, if not once a semester, just to make sure that you're on track with everything, especially if you get into like your junior, senior year. But it's completely up to you. I have students who meet with me every semester. I have students who only come to me when they have questions. So I've only met with them a handful of times. So up to you.
Perfect. And I think this is one of those things where they can meet with you as much as they want. If they
Yep.
want to. Margaret says on CNBC this morning, the Dean of Business at Purdue talked about AI being a required course in their business school. Is Chapman thinking about this? Is it already a requirement? AI is very much integrated within the classes now. The thing is with AI, it's a lot of the professors are including that in with what they do. The word requirement is not there yet. But I can't say one way or the other if it will be. But the thing is, it's with how fast it changes, most instructors are included in the classroom. So Great information, Arduous game. My question is for the current students. It says, prior to your first year, what's one thing during good question. During your summer from Quentin. What's one thing during your first year, the summer leading up to your first day that you wish you would have done or that you think you would have benefited you greatly to engage in? Students?
Sorry, Matt. I can answer that just because there's a lot that I wish that I had done prior to my first day. One thing specifically, I did not look at the course catalogs at all. I had no idea that there was a 4-year plan for business students. I had no idea what classes that I was supposed to take. And I think just looking at that, I feel like it's a new like system, it's new technology, like all that. And so I wasn't really looking into that, but I think just make sure, even if you come in undeclared, take a look at the course catalog, see what courses are offered, look at what might seem interesting to you. Freshman year, like you do have to meet with your advisor and like kind of go over those courses, and you do have some required courses you have to take and like GEs and stuff like that. But I think just coming in prior just to take a look at that and see what class we offer, because we have a lot of really amazing, really interesting classes.
Yeah, I completely agree with Kenzie. Because Chapman will, like, based on what your major is, undeclared business, whatever it may be, will give you a schedule your freshman year, first semester that you will have. Like, you don't have to go find that on your own. But I would still like go on Chapman, say like Chapman 4-year plan business major or Chapman 4-year plan business major finance emphasis or economics major, whatever it is that you want to look up. It's so easy to find, and it offers like a list of classes that shows the ones you can take, the ones you have to take to graduate. And it kind of just is like gives you peace of mind too, like to kind of all see it there. Like, I don't know, I like to plan things out. So to have like Chapman just kind of easily lays it out to look at it and kind of know what you're taking and what you're going to progress to take as you continue your time at Chapman. I think it's very important. So I agree.
That's great. Matthew, can you say something like, I just completely disagree with them. I don't know what they're talking about.
I completely disagree with them. I don't know what they're talking about. But I guess on another pivot, in my opinion, something that I thought I knew beforehand was one, just reach out early. If you're interested in getting involved with any clubs, any organizations, like that was, I think, the number one thing that I did that got me ahead is my brother, like I told him I was interested in finance. He had me talking to a finance professor and I went and shadowed his class. I was interested in Greek life. He introduced me to somebody in a fraternity and had me shadow him for a day. It was
Yeah.
amazing. I got that firsthand perspective. I'd say that really helps. And another thing is, I mean, for me, like, I think time management's one of the toughest things freshmen deal with. And just you're 18, you pretty much have, 4 to 6 hours of free time a day aside from class, and what you do those hours is really important. So having a consistent routine, schedule, your habits eventually become who you are. So focusing on those early, I think, makes a big difference.
That's great. For Jenna, Kenzie, and Matt, if you could put, if you're comfortable with this, I put my contact information, just my name and my email in the chat team. If if you're comfortable with that, go ahead and put that in there. Next question is probably be for Emma. Is a double major or declared minor required for students?
So students are required to do what we call an exploration focus. So essentially that means that in addition to your major, you need to declare either a double major, a minor, a themed inquiry, which is like a mini minor, or be part of the university honors program. So it is required, but it doesn't necessarily need to be one or the other.
Okay, great. Is Summer Bridge recommended? I'll answer that one, yes. If you're interested in doing it, I'd 100% do it. What kind of career support is available starting freshman year? Everything. If you can get as much support, there's no like kind of just restrictions for what a first year student can get or a graduate student can get. We're here to help you from day one. Did the panel know what minor or major or double major they were interested in, or did going to some classes help you decide? Students?
Yeah, I can go first. I mean, I just talked about shadowing a class when I first came. It absolutely helped me decide. My brother came in undecided. He ended up declaring business entrepreneurship, and he really enjoyed that, but had the first year and a half to kind of decide where he wanted to land his feet. I came in with econ, similar thing. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to declare, but I was super interested in economic philosophy, and that led me into choosing, my extra courses that I had for open credits to pursue real estate. And my minor, I pursued leadership. I got to pursue the real estate club. So it gave me a lot of options to have some more, I guess, autonomy with my schedule.
Yeah,
Perfect. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I
sorry.
forgot. Go
I
ahead.
really quick, I actually came in as a chat into Chapman as a STEM major. I know, totally different thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had this whole thing in my head that I was going to be a dermatologist, love skincare, still love everything about it, could talk your ears off, but it's not what I want to do for a career. And Chapman, this is also a pretty surprising thing. Chapman made it so easy for me to be able to switch my major from an entirely different school. Like, usually that sounds like a big, intense process, but going from STEM to business was so easy. And it kind of made me feel comfortable in the sense that I don't really have to know what I want to do right away. Like, you come to college to figure out what you like and what you're interested in, and to kind of be in the space where I could decide that and really make these crazy decisions of what I wanted to do, and to be where I am now and loving my major is was super helpful. So yeah, I would say you don't even have to have it figured out your freshman year. I was in a completely different world my freshman year, and now I'm in business and I'm not behind. I'm caught up. I'm on track to graduate on time, and I'm happy where I'm at. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'll just pop in a little something. I actually was a French minor my sophomore year, and then I changed it to econ. So, and that was a really easy process. And just like I took a few French classes, thought it's what I wanted to do, and then I was like, actually, econ would be more. As I got more into finance, I was like, econ would be a better minor for that. And it's really, really easy to pivot, and you can take a bunch of different classes in different like schools that really helps to try and narrow down what you really want to do. And I also changed my emphasis from management to finance. So you can really change your mind. And it's nice that Chapman allows you to do that and still stay on track to graduate.
Perfect. Jenna, I didn't know that you're into skincare and everything.
I am
Um,
very much in some
okay. Well, I might
skincare.
have to ask you about I need some new Loche for
Oh
my.
yeah, I got
Uh,
you.
Same.
okay. This might be an Emma one. Do you meet with advisors over the summer prior to fall semester to help them plan out the year of courses?
Yes, you do. So all your students will either meet with us one-on-one or you'll come to a group presentation where we talk you through your freshman year courses. That's the only meeting with me that's required. Everything after that you can choose.
Good. Emma, since accounting is a separate program, this answer might be no. Would you be able to incorporate more accounting courses as part of your business administration major curriculum?
So actually, yeah, you can. So when you
Oh,
get into after you've taken those core business classes, you have those four business electives that you need, and some of those accounting courses can count for those electives. So you can kind of explore that. We also have a lot of students who will do a double major in business and in accounting. Um, so you can kind of explore that as well. It's actually only adds about 18 credits, which is 6 classes to do a business major on top of an accounting major. So there's a lot of ways to explore that.
thank you. We have, I mean, I know we're almost at time here, but we only have 3 questions, so let's wrap up these 3 questions. Where do most graduates typically end up working geographically? I think if you were to have a heat map of the country, it would be very similar to just, where students come from, I guess you can say. Southern California a lot. We get a lot of students from Northern California, Pacific Northwest, Colorado, some Arizona, some decent amount of Hawaii. We have a few people get into finance and go to New York, but our Chapman network is very strong. Actually, Chapman is the 10th strongest network on LinkedIn of all universities in the world. So, look at this. It says awesome stuff, you all. My second question is for Mr. Dussert. And the rest of the dream team, what are some qualities, habits you find across the board with the most successful students in Argyros? I would say students who are kind of curious. I mean, we said it before, that are engaged, that meet with us, that meet with their instructors, don't hide, come out, see us, get to know us. But yeah, I think say students who are curious, and you don't have to say like, great personality, but I mean, just, be yourself, and yeah, just more engaged and involved. What if a student coming in as a freshman is interested in the 5-year MBA program? You can 100% do that. You can't really apply to that until your junior year of your undergraduate, and then if you get accepted, then you can start taking classes in the beginning or in your last undergraduate year. But the 5-year program is available. In your opinion, what differentiates Chapman's Business School from other schools in California? I think there's some larger schools. They're more famous, but they're not. I don't think they're. In my opinion, I think that our school is great. I don't know if the other schools can be considered. I don't get in trouble here, but I don't say anybody's better than anybody, but you won't get the same experience here. I think I said before, it's my 3 things are, it's the community. You feel like you're someplace. It's a family environment. The business school is super strong and very adaptable to what's going on in the environment, in society. For the students, what is everyone's plan after college? Do you feel prepared to start with everything after college? Students?
Okay, so wow, that's crazy. Graduation
Yeah.
is 2 months.
Yeah.
I definitely feel that Chapman has given me the necessary tools to succeed in the business world.
Mhm.
We have so many different like things that have really helped me get to this point,
Mhm.
like the networking events, meet the real estate, all the different clubs. I'm moving to San Francisco, working in wealth management. So, and I've done so many networking calls throughout my time here, and that's with Chapman alumni, and they've really helped me to even feel more prepared because, like, you can only learn so much in your classes. It's about what you do outside of them that really makes you stand out. Um, and I think that Chapman really offers a lot of that, which has helped me feel very prepared.
And Jenna, you
Um,
still have a year left.
I do. I still have a year left, very much clinging on to that. Yeah, Chapman definitely has given me the tools to be proactive outside of school in the business world for sure. Um, I have an internship right now as well with a wealth planning group, so owe a lot of that to Chapman. I believe I mean, networking here is unreal, not just with, your peers, but with alumni and people in the career you want to be in. That's definitely not hard to find. Like you could just go on LinkedIn and I can't tell you how many interviews I've scored just from literally typing on LinkedIn, "Hey, I'm Jenna, I go to Chapman. I'd love to talk to you about your career." And I've gotten offered an interview simply just because I go to this school. So it's a pretty big reason, I would say, why Chapman is so incredible when it comes to giving you the right skills and the right outlooks to be well connected outside of school. So I fully agree with that. Yeah.
Thank you. And then Matthew, I've called you half the times Matthew and half the times Matt. I don't know. I feel like I'm a little schizophrenic here. Go ahead. Yeah.
Usually, if it's Matthew, I'm in trouble. So,
Okay, good. Matt?
um,
Yeah.
yeah, to answer your question, next year I'm working at CBRE as a tenant rep real estate broker for two Chapman alumni. Both found them through the Chapman Real Estate Association, which was amazing. And they really liked the fact that I was passionate and curious and also a Chapman undergrad. I have never felt more prepared. And a big part is one from in the classroom and outside the classroom opportunities I've pursued through like I did the Walk Down Wall Street program. I think that really got me prepared to be in an office setting, how to handle an interview. I mean, like as Jim said, they do tons of mock interviews around here. They do tons of alumni events where you kind of refine your speech and your pitch. And aside from that, I mean, if my personal experience, I'm living with three or going to live with three Chapman graduates after college in Newport Beach, right next to three other Chapman graduates. So the community really does run deep. I'm surrounded by it every single day, and I just want to give back as much as I can because of how much the university's done for me.
Thank you. I said I just do a couple more questions here. But here we go. The ease of This is for Emma. The ease of switching majors into business is great, but is it more difficult if you decide to switch out into engineering? That's more of an engineering type question. But you know what? You had that good experience doing
Before I was
the
the
yeah.
business advisor, I was a more general academic advisor, so I'm pretty familiar with the programs. It can be harder to switch into
Yeah.
STEM just because they are very prerequisite heavy, but it is definitely doable. So I would say if that's something you're considering, meet with your academic advisor sooner rather than later so that they can basically make you a plan for those first couple semesters where you can kind of explore both if you're unsure so that you have those prerequisites ready to go when you make the switch.
Thank you. And this will be our last question. How easy is it to get job offers out of state? I'm excited about Chapman, but thinking about relocating to Seattle area after graduating. We have so many alums or students from Seattle. It's wild. So, I think it's just figuring out what you want to do, where you want to go. And the kind of the program we have in place here, I think it would fit in at least how we prepare you in kind of wherever you wanted to go. We just got to figure out where that is, and we can make that happen. So with that, I can't thank all of you enough. We still have, I mean, 80 something people on here, which is great. And I can thank you enough for joining in the chat. If you can see the chat, I know this might be a little bit of work. You might just have to push a couple buttons to get there. There's a lot of our contact information. Mine's in there. Our three amazing students are on there. Oh, look at Jenna even put her Instagram, which is good. Connie's on there. So thank you everybody so much for participating in this, hopping on this call. If you're going to be at Preview Day, which is April 11th from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., we'd love to see you there. It's a very, very special day for us here in the Chapman community. We love for you to share that special day with us. And you can kind of really see what Chapman's all about. And kind of witness the Chapman community, for yourself in person. So with that, thank you, everybody. Thank you, our wonderful team that's here and our amazing students. And Christian, thank you for taking the wheel on everything here and being kind of the captain of the ship. Any questions, feel free to reach out to us. But everybody, thank you so much.